You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Oakland Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. Here's Taiwan Jones on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch Derek Carr grow as a pro. When he was a rookie, they tried to game plan around him so that he didn't have too much responsibility. Now, I don't think they can heap enough things on his shoulders because they know he can handle them.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Offensive starters now. Charles, what about Latavius Murray?
You know how you and I talk about players under the radar sometimes? Latavius Murray definitely qualifies as one of those players. And then you look up, and he's pressing 1,000 yards every year.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Benet Benwickery on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Carr. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get him the next time.
He was looking for his tight end that time, Michael Rivera, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. He's got time in the pocket. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. first down, it's Newton. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. So just a lone field goal in this first. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Raiders will take possession. We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. And 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day's ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down is looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Throwing now is Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Carr turns, hands to Murray, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. He knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there. He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy. Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He lost 6 there on the first down play. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys and we don't meet.
Now, whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Mike Cyphers now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now Carey. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Brought in by Walford, right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down, and that's complete.